Well, hello there guys, welcome back to Strategic Command. If you guys are new to this series, I want to make sure that you guys see the entire thing. So I'm going to try to put the playlist down below and you guys can take a look. As you can see, we have liberated a number of towns. The only negative aspect is, since last turn, there is a massive amount of thunderstorms, rainstorms over France, and over, looks like most of Europe, in fact, all over Germany as well. And guys, we are slowly but surely moving in. So we've got to be really prepared here. This is when things get, well, things have already gotten quite interesting to say the least, but this is when things get a little tougher. And now we're still trying to take Brest. I'm going to go ahead and bomb it with some battleships, see if we can't weaken the defenses of this area, of this very, very well-held city, I have to say, by the Germans. They've really done a good job. We are going to go ahead and start attacking with these tanks. I'm hoping we can go ahead and liberate this turn, and it looks like we can. I'm actually going to let the American Infantry Division take the town. Then we'll move back, because I just want to make sure we grab that, we snag it, and we keep on moving with our tanks. They keep getting supplies, etc. We are going to keep moving to the south of France, although I don't think there's actually going to be too much German resistance here, and I think that most of our men should be moving east. So I am going to be moving most of my soldiers, of course, east, to try and hit the Germans where it hurts the most. Let's go ahead and start attacking these infantry divisions. Just make sure that we wipe them out. Of course, we also have some MPP to use so that we can make sure that we essentially get all of the supplies we need on the front here. We're also going to move our troops to just keep on cutting off all these remaining German units, basically. We don't want them sticking around afterwards and bothering us. So like I said, even the coastal guns have to go. We are going to be attacking them as well. So let's hit those coastal guns. We're still waiting for some reinforcements, and they are coming eventually, but could take a while. So I think right now we could focus on Lille. We're almost at Ypres, in fact, so we're actually getting close to Belgium here, and we're also getting close to Germany itself. So I'm going to go ahead and move to Calais, and it looks like there's a lot of men here. We actually got ambushed badly just then, which is not looking good for us. So I'm going to move to Calais, and I'm actually going to see if I can attack here, but it looks like we're better off attacking the coastal guns, and I think it's probably better for our men to destroy the coastal guns first and then focus on taking the area. We're going to go ahead and get some reinforcements to some of our men if we can, and some of our men are just going to keep on moving east over here on the western front. Make sure that Le Havre has already done damage, and we can actually bring in one of these destroyers, although I'd rather go sub-hunting, but we don't know where that sub is. I want to see if the destroyer can possibly fire at this area. And it looks like he can, and he actually managed to damage one of the coastal guns. I mean, destroyers do have guns too, after all. I just expect them to always use these guns and munitions against submarines. That being said, we're going to jump over here to the Italian front now, and this front is very touch and go. As you guys know, we've had a lot of difficulty holding this area, so I am going to try my best to do some damage here, but quite frankly, this Italian front is holding very, very strong. And I think maybe the only way to actually break it is to try and get as strong as possible. I want to actually see if I can get some reinforcements here. It looks like we can't. And all we can do here is try and reinforce our units. It looks like we can actually get 6 points to this unit, which isn't bad. We'll go ahead and do that. We just need to try and survive on this front as long as possible. Unfortunately, some of these units can't reinforce. It could just be because they're so close to the front. I'm not really sure. But I'm basically just going to be reinforcing a lot of these British units, a lot of these American units. Not going to make many pushes on this front. As you can see, with all these mountains, it's going to be really hard to actually break through. So I'm thinking, for now at least, our ideas here on the Italian front have to remain kind of non-existent, to be honest, at least initially. If anybody has any ideas on how to proceed, hey, feel free to drop it in the comments below. We always like to hear new ideas, etc. And I'm also still moving with my partisans here, trying to take out as many of the enemies as I can. Of course, I really want to take Belgrade. Of course, if we take Serbia, that would be a major victory. So I am going to try to attack here. It doesn't look like the odds are in our favor, but maybe with continued pressure, we can actually do pretty well. As you can see there, though, some of our partisans are getting wiped out, but a lot of our partisans have taken over large parts of the country here, as you can see, in Albania, in Yugoslavia, so it's looking pretty good. And actually, we might be able, imagine if we could take the capital of Albania here, Tirana. That would be incredible. So I'm going to keep on moving with these troops. And these are actually Greek partisans, but they might be able to assist in taking Tirana. And we'll also just keep on moving these guys as well. Apparently we can reinforce our partisans, which I didn't actually know. up to 6 points. So I am going to reinforce these guys, these Greek partisans. And we're going to go to the Eastern Front. This is where things have gotten really cool. So, of course, now we're mopping up, basically. I think that would be the best way to put this. This is a mopping up operation. All Germans in this sector. And to do that, we are going to have to, of course, sacrifice some men. But it's completely worth it. And it looks like our eastern armies have finally arrived. We're going to start sending them into combat. We'll also assist here in taking this area if we can, but because of the rain, you can actually see that our bombers are actually unable to fly. It's a very serious storm all across Europe, and for now at least, we are pretty much stuck here. Now, I do want to take Bucharest. That is a huge goal of mine, the capital of Romania, but to actually get there, I think it's going to take us a little more work. I am going to try to reinforce these guys as much as I can. We also have Bacau here that we still have to take. Once we clean up these units over here, these German units, I think we're going to be in a much better position to wipe out Bacau. So I am going to try to attack. And let's see if we can attack this area too. Alright, we're going to keep on smashing through. Let's see. Lvov is going to be extremely important, so we've got to take Lvov. Let's go ahead and... Okay, guys, so we're going to go ahead and try to take Lvov as best we can. Now, actually moving into this area is going to be quite tough. We have to move north on the railroad here and actually try and cut them off. But as you can see, Lvov actually has a number of different railroads running to it, and all of them lead back to Germany. So really my goal here is to try and cause as much damage on the lines as possible, and of course keep on moving through to go ahead and take these areas. We're going to go ahead and also push our eastern armies to the west as quickly as possible. And as you can see, we already got ambushed by some Germans here. Actually, they didn't attack, so we're going to go ahead and hit them. And as you guys can see, we're already in Krakow. We're near Krakow, so we're already actually in Poland. And Brest-Litovsk is right here. I think we can actually take it this turn. That would be a big victory for us. And of course, we've got to keep on moving. We have actually moved north of the Pripyat marshes, but if we actually have to move through the Pripyat marshes, I wouldn't have minded. It would have been interesting, and that's a 510 national morale bonus. That is incredible. So let's keep on moving here, guys. We're going to keep on moving with these guys as well. We're going to bring in our rocket artillery, and all the rest of our army is basically coming down to assist us. So once again, with our bombers and the rest of these guys, they're not going to be able to move, at least not this turn. But one thing I want to do is bring some of our armies a little bit closer, some of our generals specifically. So, for instance, this army in Babyrusk, or this general in Babyrusk, I think can get a bit closer. No, not the fighters. We want to get the general over there, guys. So actually, we're going to go ahead and do this. And yeah, we're definitely going to have to wait a turn. That was my fault. We'll go ahead and attack here. We have to attack in the north as well. So let's keep on moving with our tank destroyers. Take this unit over here of infantry, and Daugavpils is still in our sights. I'm not going to attack it, though, openly. Although it looks like Riga is open. It's incredible that the Germans left Riga open for us to take. This is definitely a major, major victory for us. We want to go ahead and keep on firing over here. Try and move north as much as possible. And let's go ahead and grab the infantry. Over here in Narva, and Narva is still pretty strong. This area just doesn't seem to want to break, and I'm not going to force them to break. So I think for Narva, we'll leave them there. We'll hope for the best. Eventually, we might just go ahead and get behind them, just flank them, essentially. We already know that if we can get to Tallinn, we're going to be cutting off their supplies dramatically. So let's go ahead and see what we can do here. Take some artillery. Looks like we're going to have to wait on that German tank position and reinforce this unit. Reinforce this unit as well. And let's see if we can break through these guys. Which is probably going to take some Hungarian prisoners here near Polotsk. And, of course, some German prisoners that are leading the mechanized divisions. Okay. Let's go ahead. Attack. 210 national morale bonus. Beautiful. We'll keep on moving, and this division, I mean, if I were the Hungarians, I would honestly just surrender at this point. but I think they're going to keep on fighting. We're going to try and finish them off, and they are now completely our prisoners. And if we just zoom out here, you can actually see that we are getting very close, very, very close to just be, well, I think we're actually already very close to Germany, or maybe we might be in Germany. No, but we're very close to being in Germany. We are, I think, in East Prussia. Yeah, technically we are over here in Gumbinen. So actually, a tiny portion of our forces are actually already here. I'm going to actually go ahead and I'm going to leave Vilno to our infantry. So I'm going to try to attack Vilno over here. Got some rocket artillery too, some Katyushas. Let's keep moving forward. I'm going to go ahead and grab this unit here. And I will move our tank unit. Maybe we should attack Vilno. Although I feel that since they're cut off, yeah, let's attack them. And the reason being, if we plan to move forward at all, we have to make sure that all of these Germans behind our lines are dealt with. We don't want to leave gaps in the line or anything like that. Then they essentially become a sort of partisan unit where they can do as much damage as possible without us really being able to do anything about it because we're already moving into Germany. So I think we are going to go ahead and deal with these guys. Daugavpils is probably the place I'm most concerned about. Obviously, this area is very well defended, very well fortified. It's a fortified town, and I'm going to try to hold the Germans here for a while. Let's keep on moving with our tanks to the west. Go to Johannesburg here. We're also going to take the 70th Army of the Soviets and try to reinforce them. If not, that's okay. We can do it another time. We also have to take Lvov. This is a concern, though, because no matter what we do here, we're going to be taking some casualties. There we go. Some successful artillery fire. Beautiful. That's actually working out really well. So we're going to keep on smashing them here. And over here, looks like we're still breaking through. Of course, they did manage to fight back and do some damage to our armies, but Lvov is a major target, so we want to take it. Let's go ahead. I think we've done everything we can with these armies, guys. We do still have this tank division, and of course I will try. I'm hoping that this area is not guarded, so just to make sure, I'm going to move in here and cut off the rails for these areas, but it looks like we can move into Cluj pretty easily. And we're also going to take this Partisan in Mostar, see if we can attack. It looks like that was not so successful. But in general, I think we've done whatever we can. Of course, some people have been worried about the Finnish front. I'm not too concerned about it. I'm just trying to basically keep the Finns at bay as best I can. We will take a look over here at the actual naval issues that we're facing. So let's go over here, and I just want to see if we can see any German submarines. Remember, we were looking for them last turn, but so far, I haven't actually found any. Let's send some of these Canadian destroyers out. I like how I said that in a Canadian accent too. So we're going to move up with the Canadian destroyers. Do the same with these these American battleships, really. And oh, that's right. Thankfully, I didn't forget. We also have to move. We can't move out because of the storm, and possibly because this area has some enemies in it. Let me check this out. But I think it's because of the storm. Remember, we put these guys on a ship last turn. Some American troops that we're going to send into France. But it's going to take us a while to get over there. So for now, we're going to go ahead. We're going to create an amphibious transport here too. 31 MPP for another amphibious transport. And we're going to send these guys, of course, to Western France. It's going to take a while to get there, though. But I think it's going to be worth it for the entire war effort. It's going to take some pressure off the rest of our army, of course. And let's see what we can do here. Looks like up here in the north, our bombers are able to drop some ordnance. It's pretty good. I'm not sure. I see why, because there's actually no rain up here. So in the northern part of Russia, no rain whatsoever to worry about. Also move the rocket artillery here, but of course we can't use that rocket artillery immediately. We've got to wait a turn or two. Did we use this artillery? We did. We're ending the turn, guys, turning it over to the Germans. The Germans. And the Italians and the Romanians, etc. Let's go ahead and see what happens, guys. So now we're going to take a look and see what happens this turn. I think we've done a pretty good job. We're getting closer and closer to the final objective, but it's going to take a while. So Axis raiders disrupt UK, USSR convoys. USA develops tank level 4, and that's what we were actually researching for the Americans, which is really, really good. That's going to help big time, and definitely something I'm looking forward to get some better tanks. We're already building tank divisions, so this is just going to speed up that process and give us even better tank divisions. As you can see, Bucharest is very weak as well. I can't wait to take Romania. It's going to be another Axis unit out of the war. And the one mistake I made was forgetting about that armor division near Lodz. We may have been able to take Lodz this turn, which would have been a big win. Obviously, a lot of Polish people are going to be very upset because who knows how many are going to die under the hand of the Germans just because we decided to take an extra week or an extra month to get there. That could be an issue. So here we go. Looking very, very nice so far. It looks like the Finns are definitely reinforcing their lines. The Germans are trying to take, as you can see, cut off more of our rail yards. That's actually a smart tactic. And this is why it's so important to mop up the enemy, because they are going to try and do as much damage as they can, even if they are completely cut off from their comrades. So we have to see what we're going to do. Alright, the Germans are getting some serious attacks on that Italian front. Alright, so once again, the Italian front, definitely the toughest front we're facing right now. We're going to continue to attack here. We've got some defensive artillery. It looks like they're even trying to fight out of Dogov Fields. We just got some wonderful kills on them, and I think those Katyusha rockets really, really hurt the enemy. It looks like the Romanians are also trying to attack from Bacău, and this to me looks like desperation on the enemy's part. So hopefully I'm right, and hopefully we can continue pushing forward. Here at Tartu, they actually got a pretty good attack on one of our armies, and they shattered one of our Soviet armies. That's definitely not what I expected, but it's going to happen every now and again. Remember, the Germans aren't yet beaten. We are, of course, beating them. That's our biggest challenge right now, but they're not yet totally beaten, and they do still have some decent counterattacks. I'm sure the Battle of the Bulge on the Western Front is coming pretty soon. They're probably going to send some tank divisions over to assist their men, but in general, we have to be cautious, but we need to keep moving. See if any more partisans will rise up. I'd love to see some more partisans rise up, although we have quite a few, to be honest. Calculating supply. Alright, so the 4th Corps was destroyed, and it looks like we spotted a general in Rotterdam. We might actually send our bombers to Rotterdam, and we've got some Soviet units. Yes, guys, the shock armies have arrived. These armies are, of course, extremely brutal. Very good at destroying Germans pretty severely. So I think I'm going to send these guys to the north. We need, actually, then again, a little unsure. We'll put one here. We'll put one of the mechanized divisions up here in the north. And the last mechanized division, the 1st mechanized, we will put right here. Closer to Bucharest, so sort of evening things out. Now, the one thing I do want to do before ending this video is I want to try and take Belgrade. I'm not giving up here on Belgrade. I want to see if we have any bombers that can actually get there to assist the partisans, and it looks like we do. So we're going to send some bombers in. It's a very dangerous mission for our bombers, of course. Actually, we managed to do some damage to their fighters, but looks like the garrison at Belgrade... Nice! It did take a hit. Actually, nothing too severe. It actually mostly hurt the town. In Germany, and miners lose 2 PP, of course. Alright, let's see. We're still going to attack, so here we go. In fact, before I attack, I wanted to try to get over here and cut off that rail line. But let's just go ahead and hope for the best. I'm going to attack from the mountains. Not sure if that's going to make a difference. In fact, they still managed to do a lot of damage to us. So I think for now, we just need to focus on continuing to take these areas. And just try and ambush the enemy. That was a general unit, so I really wanted to smash the Hungarian general unit. Let's see what we can do here. Alright, in Larissa, we might be able to do some damage. If not, I'm going to keep moving north to Tirana, and in fact, I'm going to attack. It looks like they actually reinforced Tirana. So they were definitely certain that we were attacking with these partisan units. And this is interesting. Since these are Greek partisans, it looks like they're not allowed to leave the Greek border. Which kind of makes sense, and it looks like they're going to stick around here, but at least we'll take Corfu, which is a secondary supply point for the Germans, and something we don't want around. Let's put it that way. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure to hit that like button, comment down below if you haven't already, and I'm going to hopefully remember to put up the entire series. I wanted to make sure that you guys actually get to see that. I will jump into Luxembourg. So we liberated Luxembourg. That's another bonus. But make sure to check out the other videos in this series. Make sure to start at the beginning and work your way up, because there's a lot here, and I definitely don't want you guys to miss it. Thanks so much, guys, for watching. Take care, and have an awesome, awesome day.